But perhaps we should talk a little bit about Tigray also.
Mm.
I mean, I do think, and I'm not alone in this, a number of analysts who look at this really closely really do blame the federal government for a systematic, step-by-step, deliberate process of unraveling the political elite in Tigray. In a sense, continuing the war by other means after COHA. So, you had this extremely problematic, complicated and opaque and ambiguous deal, which was only that, a cessation of hostilities agreement. And thank goodness, I mean, those of us who remember that awful 10 weeks of fighting in 2022, thank goodness they managed at least to stop that. But the terms of what was agreed are so unclear and, so much contested. One wonders what happens next, especially now, with the Prime Minister standing in Parliament last week and saying that, well, the COHA was basically signed not with an organization, which of course is not legally registered in Ethiopia, but with 3 people who now support him. What does that mean? I mean, one would think that the international community might respond rather sharply to that. But of course, I think, Tigrayans are perhaps sometimes a little naive or over-optimistic about the extent to which the international community is invested in COHA or cares what happens. Also, I think it's really important to say that the major narrative, which is dominant, is the narrative from Addis Ababa, which says that it is the TPLF being difficult, being belligerent, being elbows out in the last few days, moving into Afar, threatening these 6 villages with heavy weaponry, which they're not supposed to have. They're supposed to demobilize it. That is the narrative which is being poured into the ears of diplomats on day in, day out. And I don't hear any alternative narrative really coming very coherently from Tigray. I